Hello, everyone. This is an exclusive from Sahara Reporters. It says Wike swiftly allocates Lugbe land to Radcom Nigeria Limited as controversial demolition leaves hundreds homeless. The Federal Capital Territory Administration began demolishing duplexes and bungalows in Sabon Lugbe in October 2024. The FCTA's Department of Development Control Director Mukhtar Galadima led the demolition, which began with 10 buildings and eventually close to 50 structures. Can you imagine? 50 buildings in this hard economy, and then Wike is sitting down there and telling us that people are leaving Nigeria to go and do jobs that they will not do in Nigeria. How would they leave Nigeria? He's using London as example. This nonsense, would it happen in London? First of all, how did these people get the land? Who gave them the land? How did they get the permit? Why there are institutions. There is a parastatal that is supposed to ensure you go around and ensure that nobody is putting anything down. The moment you start building in Nigeria, in almost everywhere, you will see these people. They'll come and put this thing on your building if you've not done whatever you're supposed to. Even when you do it, you now have to be showing them how did they allow this to happen. People have already built this thing. So now that people have already built this, you're allocating it to someone else to come and build it. Can't you leave that place and say, okay, this has already been built, get this particular person to go to another area and go and do it. I'm in the building industry, and I can tell you there's so many areas that are out there. Allocation has been done, yet there are no infrastructure to that place. The other day, Wike was running his mouth that he's going to revoke lands of people that what did he say? People that have not built their land. He thinks because he can do that nonsense to what Julius Berger and get away with it, that he can do it to other people. Let me tell you people, because I see some people already afraid saying that, oh, if he can do this to Julius Berger, it's a mind game. First of all, Julius Berger has a lot of these lands that were given to them. You know, remember they are among the first to come to Abuja. They're not the ones that built Abuja with other companies. So they have a lot of these yards out there. I think it was reported some time ago that they had this building, they even built some this thing where they handed over, I think it was to police or something like that. They dashed. The only reason is that Wike is power drunk. He wants to feel that he's a bully, a very cowardly thing that cannot stay out of power because he has zero influence out of power, but we leak every behind to be able to stay in power. So he's the one. So in fact, he was doing something by saying that, oh, I brought the MD of Julius Berger. He had dinner with me. The next day, I sent them revocation letter. He called me. It's nonsense. They know Julius Berger will not do anything. If Wike had even called Julius Berger and said, we saw that a land of yours, we would like this land, they will gladly give. They will gladly, because they do business with government now. How did they get those lands? Did Julius Berger buy those lands? Were they not allocated to them? And Julius Berger does business with government, so they get their money. They know how much is that land. They know the profit they will make from government. They will do. So those people, they won't fight government. So don't be afraid and say if they can do that to Julius Berger. That's why Wike will do that. Try that nonsense. Let him try that nonsense on somebody's private land that has been allocated. Let him come and do that nonsense on my land. That house when I go build, I go collect am for una. Now me go come own it. Even if it takes 40 years, even if I die, my children will continue. My heirs go continue that case till we get out to the final place that is supposed to be at. So that nonsense that he's doing, you people should not even sit down and be afraid of him or whatever. He knows what he's doing. It's a mind game that he's doing out there. He was coming to tell us that people are going to London, people are going to London and doing jobs in London that they will not do in Nigeria. Yes, because London will not have somebody like a Wike be a minister in their DC. They won't have, UK will not have somebody like Wike as minister. We not have him as governor or anything. So that's why people will go to London and do those jobs, because there's sanity in those particular places. Instead of you to carry this way, oh yeah, these people want land, give them another land, open up another area. A lot of places in Abuja, Infrastructure has not gone there. Okay, you're saying you want to collect people's land that has been allocated to them because they've not built on it. Has the government built the road to that place? Has the government carried the electricity to that place? Has the government put in all the infrastructure they are supposed to put to that place? I've put a lot of infrastructure in places. You're sitting there, you're building a house. You will first of all be doing the road there. Most estates that you see in Abuja, they are the ones that did the road there. Wike sitting down there, scraping roads that don't need to be scraped and rebuilding them again and abusing people's sensibilities here. The Minister of Nigeria's Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, issued plot allocation papers to Radcom Nigeria Limited in the Lugbe area of Abuja after the commencement of demolition there. The Federal Capital Territory Administration began demolishing duplexes and bungalows in Sabo, Lugbe in October 2024. The FCT's Department of Development Control Director Mukhtar Galadima led the demolition, which began with 10 buildings and eventually involved close to 50. Residents and estate developers have criticized the demolition, claiming that it was carried out without prior notice and it had left hundreds of people homeless. They also allege that the demolition was a show of intimidation and oppression and that Wike has reallocated land to allies and cronies. So maybe this is what is coming out now. How? We are a country that is deficit of this thing, building. How are you taking a sort of building that is there? Because they cannot go and open a new place. All the Wike needs to do, go and open up places, go and do infrastructure there. The moment you open up places, people are ready to build. People are ready to build houses. So why will you collect this that people have already built? Even if they didn't get the right, assuming they didn't get the right paper, a humane government, what it will do will be to say, okay, come and pay money and redo this so that you get your papers very well. Then these estates that want to build, take them to a new place. No, they don't want to go to a new place. They want a place that is already developed so that they will come in there and then they can make their quick money. And then some people will come, oh, they are the ones, because you have connection, you can do whatever. They are the ones who are making money. They are the ones who know someone. They will allocate land to them. Meanwhile, you have been building since 2007. I've been doing commercial building. When I say commercial building, I build and rent. Not that I'm building for my own house. The one we did for our own, we started, I think, was it 2003 or something like that. The first building for our own residentials and all of that. When I started the business of building and renting, I was in 2007. 2007 till this time is how many years? But yet you won't get allocation because, of course, I'm not ready to go and be doing what do you call it, that connection with anyone. The last time, even in this, was it some 3 years ago, I applied for an estate plot. They came back to me that 3 or 4 years ago, I can't remember now, came back to me that I needed to give 60 million naira as bribe. I carried myself because I don't give bribe. I'm a Muslim. In Islam, the person who gives bribe and the person who takes bribe, they are all is the same crime that they commit. I don't do bribes. I don't do any of those. I would rather move on and go. If I have money, I'll buy from the people that have already gotten their own. Do this thing. Yet, even this thing, when you're building, I can tell, like I always say, I say for me, tax, even myself, sometimes I should be taxing, government should be paying me back this, because a lot of roads that you do there. The other day, 12 of my tenants wrote one long letter to me, signed it, all of them, that I should come and do road for them. Are you people okay? You cannot write the same letter to government. Of course, you have to end up doing those roads if you want your tenants to have good this thing in it. And then these people just come back, they just, because you know who is who and whatever, they bribe their way to get into this thing, and then they start allocating lands anyhow to themselves. You're telling us that people are moving to London. How would they move to London? Would they have somebody like you as minister over there? Wike on October 22 ordered the immediate demolition of what he described as illegal structures at the Sabo Lugbe South District layout in the FCT. October, then now, we are just in, this is November 1st. They've already allocated, lands already. He said buildings without proper documentation from the FCT administration will be demolished, describing the developers as land grabbers. He stated that the structures were built without the approval of the Development Control Department in violation of the land use provision. Okay, fine. This structure. So these people that were supposed to check and ensure this, who is going to, did they lose their job? Have they been driven away? They watch all of these people do their building and everything. If they've not done it, can't you come find them and say, okay, come and do this documentation, pay extra to the state, and then get these people that want to develop new, go and get them to develop a new place. All you need to do, put infrastructure. There's no place in Abuja that people will not live in. If you put in infrastructure, open up the place, divide the plots of land, people will even buy. Even if you sell it to them and give them and say, anybody that buys a land, you must start building within 6 months. There are a lot of people that will buy and start that building. If you don't start, if you know you can't start building within 6 months, don't buy any of this land. And if you, after 6 months, we revoke it and give to somebody who can do it, you will see people will get in there and build these houses. You will have housing. We have a housing deficit in Nigeria, and you're going ahead to go and be destroying houses just because some papers were not filled and all of that. The same papers that should have been done by the people who are working. Yet nobody ever loses a job because of this people that end up building where they are not supposed to build. There are people that are being paid salaries to ensure these things don't happen. I don't even have time reading this thing anymore. This is just so freaking annoying.